Currently, we have a crisis in our school system with African American and Latino youth. The ACT says only 1% of black children and 13% of Latino students are actually ready for college. We see now that we have a 48% graduation rate among black students and a 54% graduation rate among Latino students. White students have an 88% graduation rate in Madison, and it's unconscionable. We should not be where we are right now. There has to be a culture change in our school system and in our community first. The school system has to recognize that they are serving a different student population than they were serving 20 years ago. We now are a majority minority school system where nearly 60% of our students are non-white. 85% of all black children and 84% of all Latino students served by our school system are poor. And so that requires that we look at doing some things differently. Everything about Madison Prep can be replicated. We're not interested in starting 50 charter schools. We're interested in seeding educational opportunities for young people that our traditional public schools can learn from. We're going to serve a 70% poor population and assume that the majority of our students are going to be students of color. We know that we have to do more to reach out to those families, to go and get them and ensure that they are engaged in the education of their children, to set standards of engagement for parents. We'll have a parent report card. We'll have parent association that will be neighborhood-based, not just parents having to come to the school. We'll have transportation dollars for families. Our school will have a longer school day, a longer school year. We're going to try to keep our kids at school at least until the sun goes down so that they're not on the street, they're not going to a home where there's no parent there, because a lot of poor parents do work, but they work jobs that don't afford them the ability to get home on time. We have a goal that even kids of incarcerated parents, we're going to try to work with the corrections department to find a way to get into the prison so that there can be phone calls between them and their kids. That kids have to be able to know that their parents are watching. Many people talk about the cost of education and the cost of our particular school, and they assume that the school is going to cost more. The cost of Madison Prep is actually cheaper than the cost of educating students in the Madison public school system. We know that for a fact because we specifically set our budget so that it wouldn't have an adverse impact on other students in the school system. At the secondary level, which we are 6th through 12th grade, the school system spends over $11,000 per student. We're only going to ask for $9,800. None of us, I think, in this state were prepared for, very few of us, for the changes that would come to collective bargaining. Our school got caught up in that. And so then people were no longer looking at it as a school that was an opportunity for young people of color, particularly, who our school system has been challenged to educate. They started to look at it as a conspiracy, a product of the right wing, and not what we originally intended it to be. Our teachers are, I would say overall, they're working exceptionally hard to help these young people that are in our schools. I personally don't feel that they have the tools that they need in order to be successful with the students that they serve. What we'd like to tell educators in Madison is give this an opportunity to show that it can be successful. It's not an indictment of you, it's simply a statement of a changing times.